No, I'm just nodding like, are you ready?
That's how you start this.
I know, I'm going to start it, but I'm just making sure you're good if I start. Ready, set? Okay. Hey ladies, welcome back to another episode. Actually, it's our first episode of the Woman Podcast. My name is Rick Bezet, and I'll be your host. And today we have Michelle with us. Michelle, say hello.
Hey everyone, I'm glad you joined us again.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited about kicking off the Woman Podcast. And today we have Michelle with us, and a lot of you probably know Michelle Bezet here at New Life Church. You know, she and Pastor Rick are the pastors of New Life. We started New Life, how many years ago?
I know. Our anniversary is coming up February 2nd, and it will be 19 years.
19 years.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, and you guys have 4 awesome kids who are all now married. I am one of them, the married-in ones, and now 3 grandkids. And so we know all these things about you, but why don't you tell the ladies something that they may not know?
Yes. Okay. The fun fact about me, which probably nobody would ever know, is that I was born in Florida. I lived there until I was 11. For some strange reason, my family decided to up and move from 10 minutes from the beach to the Ozarks of Arkansas. And we had 40 acres and cows and chickens, and I was introduced to rodeos. Never been to a rodeo before.
My.
So I went to a rodeo, and I came home. I looked at our cows, and I thought, I could probably ride one of those. And my dad put me on it, and the cow took off, and I rolled under it and snapped my collarbone in half.
Oh.
That was my bull riding days.
Wow. And then you became a professional bull rider.
Yes.
In high school. No, just kidding. No professional bull riding after that.
No.
How old were you when you broke your collarbone?
Like 12, 13 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Note to self, don't ride a cow.
No.
Okay, so right now, at the time we're recording this podcast, we are in our time of prayer and fasting that New Life does every January. And it's just a time when we set aside some time to pray and seek God and devote our year to Him. And I just really wanted to talk to the ladies today about the importance of starting your year off right. And I know that's something that you have always valued, and you've always modeled it well for the women in our church.
Yeah, I know you and I have talked before about, I know something for me at the beginning of the year is that I try to ask the Lord for one word.
Yes.
What is my one word for the year? And that all started for me a few years ago. My husband Rick and I and Grace were in the kitchen before school that morning, eating breakfast, and Rick asked Grace and I, so what is God showing you during the fast? And my daughter was quick to say, well, what is He showing you? To defer there a little bit.
So smart.
And yes. And he goes, well, I have a whole, basically a laptop of things. And I just remember looking at Grace like, do you have a laptop of things? I don't have a laptop of things. And I remember just saying in my heart at that moment, Lord, I would just love one word. I don't need a laptop. I need one word. Right. And what was so funny is right after that, I looked at a devotional. There is a great, if you're not familiar with it out there, there is a great app out there, YouVersion Bible app. It has so many devotionals, all the translations of the Bible, great resource. Yeah. And I was looking on there for some different devotionals, and there was a devotional called One Word.
No way.
And yes, and so that was just a little confirmation to me, and I just said, Lord, what is my what is my word to stand on for this year? And I remember that year, what my word was joy, and having joy in all seasons. It was a big season of change for me, and having that word reminded me through that season of change when I was about to lose my joy. Nope, joy is my word. Right. I'm going to keep my joy. Right. I'm going to keep my joy.
Okay.
And so that, for me, has helped me. I know that might not be what works for everybody, but for somebody like me that doesn't get a laptop full of things, the one word works really well and carries me through the year.
Right. So that begs the question, have you decided, do you have a word for this year?
I know. I was actually funny, praying about that this morning, and I'm like getting desperate. We're halfway through the fast. I'm like, oh Lord, what is my word? and I just wonder, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm just wondering if pray. I just was we had a great teaching. Our pastor from Louisiana was in and spoke with us. And I just want to be more of a woman of prayer this year, like driving in my car. Instead of listening to music sometime, can I just be praying for somebody? As I'm doing dishes, can I just be praying for somebody? Just to be mindful of how can I put prayer into my everyday life.
I love that.
And so I'm just wondering if that might be it.
Right. To be continued.
Yes.
We'll find out next time we talk to you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so, I've heard you talk about one word before, and I love that you do that, and I think a lot of women have really latched onto that, and it's become an easy way to kind of put some, give some direction to your year. Like, God, this year I'm believing for my word's going to be peace, or my word's going to be rest, or I'm going to learn to say no to things, or I'm going to learn to say yes to things. And I really do think it's become something that you have taught the women of our church, and they've really latched onto. But I'm just being honest, for some reason.
Be honest, Katie.
I know. For some reason, I have never really been good at finding my one word. But I still think that you are awesome at starting the year off right and really giving your year to the Lord. And so for someone like me who's like, well, I don't even know what my one word is, do you have any tips on how to start your year off right? What do you do outside of one word to give your year to God?
Right. Yes. I would definitely say to be in the Word, that, if you don't have that one word from the Lord, that to be in His Word then daily. We at Woman every year, I have a moment that I have dubbed the mom moment with Michelle.
Yes.
And this last year, I was just encouraging everybody as a mom just to be women of the Word. And that, there's a verse in Psalms that says, His Word is a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. And there's a lot of times where I'm sitting reading His Word daily that I think, that's exactly what it is. I thought, if we would all be people that would read the Word daily in some way, for me, it's the one-year Bible. I love that because it keeps me on track. I don't have to sit there and think, okay, what do I read today? What do I read today? Right. With the one-year Bible, it tells you what to read every day. Some people don't like to be told what to read every day, so that might not work for them. For me, it works really well, so I don't waste time sitting there thinking, okay, what do I read today? I know what to read. It tells me January 1st, and I read something from the Old Testament, the New Testament, a psalm, and a proverb. So I get an overview of the Bible. And I just, like I said, as I sit there and I think it just keeps me on track. It is your compass. It gives you direction during the day. The Word of God is your lighthouse. When it is dark, it gives you direction. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. And if we would just stay in the Word in some way, you find what works for you. Just like people that are into working out and exercise, the people that are consistent in working out and exercise, they find what works for them. They find the exercise that works for them. You have to find what works for you to stay in God's Word.
Right.
And it is going to be, like I said, that lamp unto your feet and a light unto your path. And otherwise, there's so many voices that hit us all day long, from media, from the news, from friends, that voices that do not line up with God's Word. And I was thinking recently about that analogy. If you've ever been to the beach and you go in the beach and you go into the water to play, and you're out there and you're splashing around and you're having so much fun, and you look up and you're way down from where all your stuff is, and you think, how did I get here? I was having so much fun. How did I get so far away? Right. And that's what happens to us if we don't stay in the Word every day. You're just out there enjoying life, and you look up one day and you think, how did I get so far? So far away from what God has for me and His plan for my life and His direction. And if we stay in the Word every day in some way, it keeps you focused. It keeps you centered on His Word. And it's easier to make the decisions that we have to make that day.
Right, yeah. That's so good. I know, and you've always just modeled that so well. For those of you who don't know, I married Pastor Rick and Michelle's oldest son, Hunter, and we've been married now for going on 6 years. And just as long as I've been around the Bezet family, there has been your little table in your kitchen and your stack of Bible and devotionals and your glasses. And I just know that you are known for...
Did you have to mention my glasses?
Oh.
Did you have to tell everybody I need
but
reading
But
glasses
they're not your
now?
glasses. They're not your glasses. It's just like, I don't know, a prop. It's a prop. Prop glasses. So, but I think you're known for, it's like your kids honor you for that. Yeah. You are known for the way that you have just consistently throughout the years been in the Word. And to be honest, that's something that I really strive to. And in this stage of my life with 2 young boys, it's like all I can do to get up in the morning and spend time with God. And so when you were a mom, like when you were wrangling 4 children and and you homeschooled, I mean, I just can't imagine how you did that. And so can you speak to someone maybe in my season of life with 2 young kids? Like, how did you have time with God and point your day towards Him back in those days?
Right. It is definitely harder back in those days. And I would have... The best way for me was I set my alarm 15 minutes before they would wake up. And for me, some people can maybe do an hour before they wake up. Some people can maybe do 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. I was just so proud of myself for setting it for 15 minutes before they woke up. Just to be able to get out there and just read something, get something in my heart, get something in my spirit before they face the day. And then, kids are kids. You're going to set that alarm for 15 minutes early, and then, of course, they're going to wake up 15 minutes earlier than normal. But you just do the best you can. And so for me, sometimes people at the end of the day, if that works for you, it was really important for me to start my day with God's Word. Start my day before I was facing everything with something from His Word. And then just as a little something somebody taught me, I would do this. I would set my alarm 15 minutes before my kids woke up. But then it dawned on me that they never saw me read God's. They never saw me because I did that before them. Okay. So then I would purposely, and it sounds almost, I don't know, it could sound fake, but I wanted them to see that this was my habit. So I would set it 15 minutes early or whatever and purposely be reading my Bible when they came down the stairs in the morning so they knew that this was something I did, that they would remember my mom read the Word. And so it's important that you model it. If there's a way to model it to your children, model it to them.
And I'll say, even my own parents, that's something that I would say they did so well. Like, always, the Bible was always out on the coffee table, always turned to what they were reading that day. They would read it in the evening together. They would read it in the morning. I saw it modeled, and it is ingrained in my brain, and it is something that I really do aspire to, and I think a lot of moms do, a lot of young women do. Any stage of life, I think you always aspire to know God more and be in His Word more, and so I think any wisdom that we can get is always helpful. So
and then life happens. You don't have to be, what is the word? Just hardcore with it. It's just your goal. It's just your goal to every day spend time with. So don't beat yourself up if you go several days and you haven't been able to read. Our goal is that this is what we're doing, and if you haven't read in a few days, then just pick back up when you can. And if you go on vacation and you didn't get to for a week, when you get back, just pick back up. Don't beat yourself up. The goal is just to stay in God's Word the best you can when you can.
Awesome. I love that. Well, I think that's a good place to end. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. And ladies, I just hope and pray that you can listen to this and whatever point you are at during the year, that you would be able to get in God's Word more, that you would be able to spend time with Him, and that you would be, like Michelle said, a lover of the Word. So thank you for listening to another episode of the Woman Podcast. Make sure that you like and subscribe and all those things. If you have a question or want to stay connected, you can follow us on Instagram at Woman Conference. We have Facebook too, 5-star rating, all the things. I don't know. All the things. Yeah. Thanks for being with us. See you soon.
Bye.